All right, y'all, this is day 1 of Unit 6. Today we're going to talk about measures of central tendency, which is mean, median, mode, and range. So should be super easy because you've been doing this probably since elementary school, honestly. All right, mean is the average group of data points or your balance point, okay? So to find the mean, remember that's when you add up all the points and divide by however many you have. So like here, this is an example. They took 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 again, and they divided all that by 5 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points. And so that ended up being 10 divided by 5, which was 2. So that means that was your mean, okay? Your median is the middle number when it's your data is arranged in ascending order, aka from least to greatest. I always just automatically go ahead and label my stuff from least to greatest at the very beginning before I ever do anything. And so when they did that, what I tend to do whenever I want to find the median is I just start crossing out things from both ends. There, and then 2 is in the middle. So that's my middle number. Okay, so my median is 2. And then mode is the number that occurs the most in a data set, aka the most often. So 2 happens 3 separate times, so that means 2 is also my mode. And then your range is the difference between your greatest number and your least number in the data set. Okay, so because my largest number was 3 and my smallest number was 1, we did 3 minus 1 to give us 2. So that's my range. Okay, so to do an example, finding all of those, again, I prefer to just go ahead and list them all out from smallest to largest. That's just my habit of doing that because I know I'm going to have to do it anyways. So doing it from least to greatest, that's 3, 5, 5, and sometimes I cross them out so I know I got them all. 6, 8, 8, 9. Okay, so that's from least to greatest. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points. So we're going to add all those up to get our mean. We're going to add all those up and divide by however many we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll do 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 all over 7. Now when you do this in the calculator, you have to do it one of two ways because I'm going to show you what a lot of y'all tend to do, okay? So what you have to do is either add them up and then divide by 7. So do 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9. And then divide by 7. Okay. Or, make sure I did that right. 3, 5, 5, 6, 8, 8, 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Okay. Okay. Or if you're going to do it all at one time, you have to put parentheses around the top. So that it would be 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9. And then divide by 7. And that gives you the same thing. Because here's what some of y'all are going to try and do because y'all are lazy. Okay? You have to put parentheses around all of the top. If you don't, then you get this. 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 divided by 7. And you get something completely different. Okay? That's because what you're telling the calculator is to add all these up, but take 9 and divide by 7. Because the calculator reads that as 9 divided by 7 here. Okay, so if you're going to do this, you either need to add them all up and then divide by 7, or add them all up inside of a set of parentheses and then divide by 7. Okay, because if you do this and then divide by 7 at the end, it's not going to give you the same answer. All right, so my mean is 6.286. Okay, and just like we've done in the past, I always want you to use 3 decimal places if possible. Okay, 6.286. All right, so then to find our median, that's when we just cross out the ones that are in the middle. So I'm just going to list my numbers again. 3, 5, 5, 6, 8, 8, 9. And I always just start from each end and start crossing them out. So cross, cross, until I get to the middle. And so that means that 6 is my median. That's what's left in the middle after I crossed them out 3 times on both sides. All right, your mode comes from the number that happens the most. Now, if you notice, we have 5 that happens twice, and we have 8 that happens twice. You can have more than one mode, and you can have no mode at all. That's possible. That's the only one that you can have none at all for. You can always have a mean, a median, and a range, but the mode is the only one that it's possible to not have any or to have multiples of. Okay? So, because I have 5 happening twice and 8 happening twice, they're both my mode. You can have more than one. And then your range, you take the largest number, which is 9, minus my smallest number, which is 3, which gives me 6. So my range is 6. Okay? So that's how you find all 4 of those. All right, so I'm going to flip over to the next page and do some more examples. Okay? So for my mean, again, we're going to add them all up and divide by how many there are. So I just tend to go ahead and list them from smallest to largest. 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 9 plus 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're dividing by 7 because that's how many numbers I have in my set. Okay? So then we go to our little calculator. And you can do this in your little phone calculator, okay? The only reason why I'm recording on my phone, so I can't show it to you on here. But you can do this on your phone calculator. All you gotta do is add them all up. And then hit divide by 7. And you'll get your answer, 7. So my mean is 7. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, 9. Okay. And then our median, again, we're going to list them all up from least to greatest, and then we'll cross them out. So 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, 9, 11. Okay, and we're going to cross them out. And so 6 is my number in the middle, so that's my median. And then we look and see what number happens the most. Well, 6 happens twice, and that's the only one that happens twice, so it would be 6. Now, it's not always going to be happening twice. It could be 3, it could be happening 4 times, whatever. It's whatever happens the most times. So if I had, say, for example, 6, 6, and then 8 was 3 times, 8 would be my mode because it's happening more times than it is 6. So my mode here is 6. And then my range, I take my largest number, which is 11, and subtract my smallest number, which is 4, and that's going to give me 7. So my range is 7. Okay. So we'll again do the next same thing with number 2. So again, we're going to add them all up and divide by however many there are. So we've got 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 7 plus 8. Okay, and we're dividing by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I missed one. Oh, I missed 5. 5, 7, 8. There we go. See, this is very easy to make a mistake if you don't list them all out. So we're dividing by 9. Okay? Because that's how many numbers we have. So again, 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Divided by 9 gives us 4. So my mean is equal to 4. All right. And then our median, again, where you list them all out. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 7, 8. And we cross them out. So I'm going to cross each end out. So 4 is my number in the middle. So 4 is my median. All right. And then if I look back up here, I have 2 happening twice and I have 4 happening twice. So that means my mode is 2 and 4 because it happens more than one time. Okay? And then the last thing is to find our range. My range, we take our largest number, which is 8, subtract our smallest number, which is 1, so that gives us 7. So my range is 7. Okay? All right, let's do number 3. Again, we're going to add them all up. So we've got 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. Then we've got 9, 11, and 16. And we'll divide by however many there are. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay. So 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 16 divided by 8 gives me 7. Okay, so my mean is 7, and then we're going to again find our median. So we got to find the points in the middle. All right, so I'm going to cross them out. Now notice when I crossed them out, I was left with 2 numbers in the middle. That's 5 and 7. Okay, so if you're ever stuck with that and you have 2 numbers stuck in the middle, you have to find the average of those. So we have to find 5 plus 7 and divide that by 2 because that's how many numbers we have. Okay, 5 plus 7 is 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. So my median would be 6 in this case. And a lot of times you can kind of tell because you're going to find the average between those is always the number that's in the middle. So between 5 and 7, of course, would be 6. So that's my median point. Okay. My mode, notice I have no numbers that repeat themselves. Okay. You got 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 16. None of those repeat. So that means there is no mode. So you can either write no mode or you can write NA. Either one of those is the same thing. Okay? And then for our range, we take our largest number and subtract our smallest number. So that would be 16 minus 1, which gives us 15. So my range is 15. Okay? So then we get to our next one. We've got number 4. We got 3, comma, or 3 plus 3 plus 4 is happening 4 times, so you have to write them all out. And then we divide, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're dividing by 7 here. Three plus 4, 4 times, plus 6, divided by 7, gives us 4. So our mean is 4. Okay. Then our median, again, we're going to list them all out. And start crossing them out in the middle. And 4 is my number in the middle, so that means that's my median. And then your mode is how many numbers happen the most. Now we have 3 that happens twice, but 4 happens 4 times. So 4 is what's happening the most often. So my mode here is 4. And then my range, I take my largest number and subtract my smallest number, and that's going to give me 3. So my range here is 3. And then my last example, again, we're going to list them from smallest to largest and find our mean. So we'll have 2 plus 3 plus, let's see how many times 5 happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 6, plus 7, plus 10, plus 11. So how many numbers do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're dividing here by 10. Okay. So we got 2 plus 3 plus 5, 4 times, plus 6 plus 7 plus 10 plus 11. And we divide by 10, and we get 5.9. So 5.9 is my mean. All right, and then we need to find our median. One, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, and 11. So I'm gonna start crossing my numbers out in the middle. And so notice I'm left with both 5 and 5 in the middle. That automatically tells you it's gonna be the median, but I'm gonna show you when you get 2 numbers left, you do 5 plus 5, which is 10, divided by 2, which again will give us 5. So even though we're left with 2 different 5s, the 5 is what's my median there. Okay? If you're left with 2 of the same number in the middle, you can go ahead and assume it's going to be that number again. And then our mode is the number that happens the most. So 5 happens 4 times, so my mode would be 5. And then my range, I take my largest number, which is 11, minus my smallest number, which is 2. And so that gives me 9. So my range is 9 there. Okay? All right. And then it gets into choosing the best measure of central tendency. So for any data set, you can perform an analysis to come up with the value for each average. However, there are a few basic guidelines to help you choose the most appropriate form of central tendency to describe your data. So for a normal random distribution of data, aka all my numbers are pretty well distributed among each other, the mean is preferred. Okay, for a skewed data set, aka I have like maybe a bunch of numbers in 5, 6, 7, 8 range, and then all of a sudden you have a number that's like 16. So that means it's skewed because you have an outlier. That means the median is more appropriate than the mean. The skewed data set, aka extreme data points, will cause the mean value to be much more extreme than the median and therefore less central. Okay, and then the mode can be used for non-numerical data. For example, most common car in a parking lot. So that's whenever you're talking about what's happening the most. Like how often does somebody have a pair of Nikes versus a pair of Jordans? Like the mode is what you're going to use in that case. Okay? So for example, okay, we've got donations are collected for the sports fund. Mr. Wilson was able to collect 7 donations in the amounts of 106, 100, 10, 20, 54, 165, 184, and $200. Which measure of central tendency would be best? So what I prefer to do is I go ahead and list them from smallest to largest so I can actually look at the numbers instead of trying to read this problem. Okay, so I've got $10, $20, $54, I've got $100, $106, $165, $184, and $200. Okay. This one ranges all the way up from $10 to $200. This is an example of where you would use the median, because while most of these are in the same range points, 10, 20, and 54 are kind of off from the rest. Okay, 54 can kind of still fit in, but 10 and 20 kind of throws those numbers off. It's going to throw your median off just a little bit. Okay, so the median is what you would be preferred to use in that central data points. Okay, and so we're just discussing what would be the best form to use. You don't actually have to find the median or the mean or whatever, but the median would be the best one because that 10 and 20 is kind of skewing our data set off. Okay. As a basketball player for her school's varsity team, Riley scored the following points in her last 8 games. We got 16, 12, 12, 18, 14, 21, 23, and 21. Which measure of central tendency would be best? So again, I'm going to list my numbers from smallest to largest. You don't have to do this when you're reading this type of problem, when you're trying to decide. I just prefer to do it so I can see it away from the word, so I'm not getting bogged down from it all. 12, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. I don't know why I'm writing plus signs, so I don't know why. You can just list them. And then 23. Okay? So these numbers are all the way from 12 to 23. So these are actually pretty close together. They're only within about 10, 11 points from each other. So this one I would use the mean for, because there's no really outlier. It's not like she all of a sudden just got like Kobe and made 60 points in one game. Okay? That's not good. That would have thrown it off, and so you would use the median. So whenever they're kind of close together like this, you would use the mean. All right? And then on the next page, it says Coach Bass was looking to order new jerseys for his baseball team. His players are small, medium, medium, large, large, medium, extra large, large, extra large, medium, and large. Which measure of central tendency would be best? I don't even have to list these because we're talking about a qualitative. We're not talking about a quantity of something. We're talking about what size every person is. So that means I would use the mode to talk about that, because we're talking about which one is happening the most often, whether it's a small, medium, large, or extra large. Okay? All right, so then we'll do a couple of more examples and then I'll be done. Okay? So we're going to look over here at exercise 1. It says find the mean, median, and mode for table B. All right, so we'll do that. Okay? So again, I always list my numbers out from smallest to largest. So we've got 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 17 happens 3 times. And then 19, 20, I'm about to run out of space, 21. Okay. And we're going to divide by how many numbers we have. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That we're going to divide by. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So we'll find our mean. 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 17 3 times. Oops. Oops. Plus 19 plus 20 plus 21. And we'll divide by 9. And we get 17. So my mean is 17. I'm going to write those answers down here. And then it wants us to find the median. So this is question number 1. So 13, 14, 15, 17, 17, 17, 19, 20, and 21. We'll cross them out. And so 17 is my number in the middle. Okay, and then it also wants us to find the mode. And that's the number that happens the most often. Well, 17 happens 3 times, so that's my mode. Okay, so we found it. It asked me if I'm mean, median, mode, so I'm good. Then number 2 says, use your answer from exercise 1. Which measure of central tendency best describes the data? And so if you look, mean, median, and mode, they're all the same. So honestly, it doesn't matter which one you would use. None of them are the best description because they're all the same. So all are the same. Okay, so that's when we're good, because that means our data is pretty well distributed, because my mean and my median and my mode are all the same. So that kind of helps us with being able to determine that our height for the plants are right around 17. So that's a good description when all 3 numbers are the same. Okay, and then going over to this example, It says, refer to table A. You're doing some experiments with germinating seeds and you're preparing your report on your findings to a seed company. What are the mean, median, mode of the data? So again, we're going to find our mean first. So again, I'm going to list my numbers from smallest to largest. So we got 9, 15. 15 happens 3 times. 16, 20, 21 happens twice, and then we got 30. And we'll divide by 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just always add both of them up to make sure my numbers line up. Okay, so we'll add them all up. 9 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15, 16, 20, 21 twice, and 30. And then we'll divide by 9, and we get that our mean is 18. And then our median is that point in the middle. So 9, 15, 3 times. So we'll cross out our points. Boom, 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 boom. And 16 is the number in the middle. And then our mode is the number that happens the most. So 15 happens 3 times, 21 happens twice. So 15 is our mode because it's the one that's happening the most often. Okay, and so we got all of our answers there because it didn't ask for the range. So we're good on that. All right. So then on the next page, this is your classwork. So you're just going to tell me mean, median, mode, and range. You're going to read the information, tell me which one is correct. And then using these data that you're given, you're going to find the mean, median, mode, and range of each one for 1 through 10. You're going to find all of those. And then here, you're going to find what it asks you for and answer any questions that it gives you, okay? If it tells you to find the range, the mean, the median, the mode, whatever. All of the bits of information that it asks you for, okay? So that's all you have to do for your classwork. It's literally just 1 page front and back, and then you're good. Okay, if you have any questions on the mean, median, mode, or range, just comment on either the YouTube video, you can message me on Remind, or you can comment in your Google Classroom where I have this posted. So let me know, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. Bye.